Namaste, Dandavat Pranam. We are here this morning reading Srimad Bhagavatam by the guidance and instruction of our spiritual master, Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa, Shripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're also paying our humble Dandavat Pranam to Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada for providing us this wonderful commentary and translation of Srimad Bhagavatam, and following the guidance of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, we are praying to Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī. Yadi sevā-vañcitāḥ yasyāḥ kṛpayā vayaṃ labhema sarvaṃ prāpnumaḥ prayojanaṃ dhāmni śrī-bhagavat pade Kṛṣṇa-sambandhi sarvaṃ Yadi jānīmahe tutam Aṣṭādaśasu sahasreṣu ślokānāṃ bhāgavat-oktiṣu Rādhārānīṃ na vindāmaḥ tadā niṣphalaṃ bhagavat yayinam radhikaya kripam vina vyartas yat sarva-pariśramaḥ. If we are cheated out of serving that personality whose mercy awards us everything we need, including residence in the Lord's holy Dham, and all things connected to Krishna. And if we cannot understand or discover Rādhārānīṃ within the 18,000 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, then our study of Srimad Bhagavatam has been pointless. Without the mercy of Śrīmatī Rādhārānīṃ, all of our efforts are in vain. So, we are continuing our reading this morning from Canto 5, Chapter 21, Text 13. Yasyāḥ chakram dvadasaram san nemi tri nabi samvatsaratmakam samhamananti tasyaksho mirur mordani krito manasotare krite tarabago yatra protam ravi rata chakram taila yantra chakravad brahman manasotara giro paribramati. The chariot of the sun god has only one wheel, which is known as samvatsara. The 12 months are calculated to be its 12 spokes. The 6 seasons are sections of its rim, and the 3 chaturmasya periods are its 3-sectioned hub. One side of the axle carrying the wheel rests upon the summit of Mount Sumeru, and the other rests upon Manasotara mountain. Affixed to the outer edge of the axle, the wheel continuously rotates on Manasotara mountain, like the wheel of an oil pressing machine. 14. Tasmin akshe kritamulo dvitiyokshas turya manena samitas taila yantrakshabad dhruve kritopari baga. As an oil pressing machine, this first axle is attached to a second axle, which is one-fourth as long, or 3,937,500 yojanas, or 31,500,000 miles. The upper end of this second axle is attached to Dhruva Loka by a rope of wind. Text 15. Ratanidas tusat trimsal laksha yojanayatas taturiya bhagavishalas tavan ravi rata yugo yatra hayas chando namana saptaruna yojita vahanti devam adityam. My dear king, the carriage of the sun god's chariot is estimated to be 3,600,000 yojanas, 28,800,000 miles long, and 1/4 as wide, 900,000 yojanas, or 7,200,000 miles. The chariot's horses, which are named after Gayatri and other Vedic meters, are harnessed by Arunadev to a yoke that is also 900,000 yojanas wide. This chariot continuously carries the sun god. Purport. In the Vishnu Purana, it is stated, Gayatri cha brihatya brihatyusnig jagati trishtup evacha anushtup panktir ityuktas chandamsi harayo rave. The 7 horses yoked to the sun god's chariot are named Gayatri, Brihati, Usnik, Jagati, Trishtup, Anustup, and Pankti. These names of various Vedic meters designate the 7 horses that carry the sun god's chariot. Text 16. Purastat savitur aruna paschach cha niyukta sautye karmani kilaste. Although Arunadev sits in front of the sun god and is engaged in driving the chariot and controlling the horses, he looks backward toward the sun god. Purport. In the Vayu Purana, the position of the horses is described. Saptasvarupa chandamsi vahante vamato ravim chakrapaksha nibidhani chakre vaksha samahita. Although Arunadev is in the front seat controlling the horses, he looks back toward the sun god from his left side. Text 17. Tata valikilya rishayo nigusta parva matra shasti sahasrani purata suryam shukta vakaya niyukta samstuvanti. There are 60,000 saintly persons named Valikilyas, each the size of a thumb, who are located in front of the sun god and who offer him eloquent prayers of glorification. Text 18. Tatanye charishayo gandharvapsraso nagha gramanyo yatudana deva ityekai kaso ganha shapta chaturdasa masi bhagavantam suryam atmanam nana namanam pratanana namanaha pratak karmabir dvandvasa upashate. Similarly, 14 other saints, Gandharvas, Apsaras, Nagas, Yakshas, Rakshas, and demigods, who are divided into groups of 2, assume different names every month and continuously perform different ritualistic ceremonies to worship the Supreme Lord as the most powerful demigod, Suryadev, who holds many names. Purport. Namanam. Purport. In the Vishnu Purana, it is said stuvanti munaya suryam gandharvar giyate pura. Nrityanto psharaso yanti suryasyanu nishachara. Vahanti panaga yakshai kriyate bishu shangraha. Valikilyas tatai vayaṃ parivarya samashate. Soyam sapta ganasurya mandale muni satama himoshna vari vrishtinam hitutve samayam gata. Worshipping the most powerful demigod Surya, the Gandharvas sing in front of him, the Apsaras dance before the chariot, the Nisacharas follow the chariot, the Panagas decorate the chariot, the Yakshas guard the chariot, and the saints called the Valikilyas surround the sun god and offer prayers. The 7 groups of 14 associates arrange the proper time for regular snow, heat, and rain throughout the universe. Text 19. Lakshotaram sardha navakoti yojana parimandalam bhuvalayasya kshanena saghavyutaram dvi sahasra yojanani sabhunkte. My dear king, in his orbit through Bhumandala, the sun god traverses a distance of 95,100,000 yojanas, or 760,800,000 miles, at the speed of 2,000 yojanas and 2 kroshas, 16,004 miles in a moment. And thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 5th canto, 21st chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Movements of the Sun. So, before we move on to the next chapter, which we will read the introduction to and maybe the first 2 or 3 shlokas, it's just interesting to see how, at the very least, we can say nobody or nothing in this even material creation is alone, right? The sun is constantly surrounded by all these different kinds of living entities, whether we can perceive them or not, right? It's surrounded by all these different living entities, glorifying it and kind of encouraging it in its service of providing light to the rest of the universe and heat and warmth. So everything is so relational, right? Everything is so relational. And that much is, even if we can take that much away from that past chapter, everything is interconnected, everything is relational. That much has so much to teach today's society, which is like more mechanistic, right? Kind of compete with others, do your own thing independently. Of course, we can't avoid others, but, teamwork is kind of a drag. Do your own thing, be the best you can be independent if possible, right? So all that kind of mood that's there in today's Western society, that's like just against the laws of nature. Nothing is independent, nothing is going on by itself. Nothing in nature can be defined, isolated from what it's related to. So, that much is clear. Anyhow.
I noticed that you took a long time to contemplate one of the readings, and I was wondering what was going through your mind.
Yeah, one of these verses said, in the English translation, it said the sun is called by many names. And I wanted to see if it was actually there in the Sanskrit.
It was a short
I
translation.
think it was the fourth or fifth one today. This one, no, it had some yojanas mentioned in it. Not this one.
It was a
Not this
short
one.
translation. I remember, it was very short.
It had yojanas mentioned in it.
Lower part, upper. Let's see. The mist also gives light while possessing.
Can you go back to where you started today? I can tell you.
Yeah, today I think we started from 11 actually, 13. I went back too far. Oops.
Yeah, this one you just crossed.
This one?
No, the previous one. Either you were stuck here or
no, it
the
says
one after.
It had the Sanskrit namana or something like that. Namana.
Next one, I think. Next one.
From there becomes visible. 12.
This one.
Worshipped. Section fixed to the outer axle.
It was a short translation.
It says the sun is known by many names. This is chariot, which are named Gayatri, Vedic meters.
This one, Gayatri, right?
I guess there was two I stopped at. This one I was looking at, yeah, right, that's Nama, right, or does it say? Okay, so the same word is actually here, interesting. This one I stopped at because I thought it was interesting. It was saying that each of the spokes is named after a meter. So this whole remember the whole allegorical, trying to meditate on the allegorical reading. You know, this also might be literal for those with higher consciousness, but since we or I don't have that, I'm trying to think about it in the allegorical way. And the fact that some of the spokes are named after Gayatri and other Vedic meters, and meters means vibration, frequency, right? A certain tone. So the sun is light, is giving off light, and light is a frequency, right? So I was trying to think about the connection between different frequencies of meters and different frequencies.
You mean wavelength?
Wavelengths of light, right?
Frequency,
yeah. So I was just trying to kind of absorb that. How I wonder if a part of the allegorical reading of this section might be the chariot of the sun god with these different names of Vedic meters. It's direct. A meter means it's a certain frequency. It's a certain intonation. So I was trying to just kind of meditate on that. Is that the diversity in the sun, if it's different kind, I was just kind of speculating a little bit, but I was that was all. And then there was another place I stopped where it said the sun had many different names. Oh yeah, here it is. Because right, obviously in all so-called pantheistic religions, there's a sun god, right? Apollo in Greek, right? Ra in Egyptian, Surya in the Vedic. So the fact that it's acknowledging that the sun goes by many names shows the universality, that the Vedic conception is, people who are extremists and trying to use the Vedic literature to bolster their own ego will like to say, everything else is wrong and this is correct. But the Vedic knowledge is actually giving a whole umbrella which you can understand the whole gamut of world religions in. So the fact that it's acknowledging that the sun is known by many names, it's saying the sun god is named Suryadev, but Suryadev has many names. That's a very simple thing, but it's very pluralistic. It gives scope to then compare what Egyptians say about Ra and Greeks say about Apollo to what the Vedas say about Surya. So it's nice that Bhagavatam gives that very wide and universal vision. So I was just appreciating that too. Nam, Namanam, Nana Namanam, having various names. Anyhow.
I know only 4 names. Surya, Ravi, Bhaskara, Aditya.
Also, Vivashan is there in Gita, right?
So Umadevi, those were 4 names of what? The sun?
Sun, yeah.
Surya, Ravi, Bhaskara, Aditya.
Of the sun. Yes.
Nice, nice.
So it's always interesting, right? These names indicate different aspects, different qualities, different relationships of a single entity. So that's a part of, we also hear Bhagavan, right? Bhagavan has many names. This is based on relationships. And our acharyas tell us that, we can find that the concreteness of that concept in finite persons too, right? Any one of you attending here today could be considered as a wife, a mother, a daughter, an employee, a boss, a seeker, a pedestrian, right? So there's based on whatever personal relationship somebody has with you, you take on a whole persona based on that particular relationship, and you have a name associated with that particular relationship. And most of the time, maybe sometimes they cross over, but most of the times those relationships don't cross over. Like you don't act like a wife to an employer. You don't act like, you know what I'm saying? Those relationships and the names associated with them, they stay within the context of what makes that relationship work. So in the same way, all these even higher finite personalities, what to speak of the infinite supreme person that is Bhagavan, all these different names correspond to different relational contexts and different pastimes, and right. So it's not actually very, we say humbly, it's not very difficult to conceive how this is the case, that God has many names and many forms, right? Because even a finite person has that, when we think about it properly. And we've only learned this from our teachers. We never thought about that ourselves. But it's true. Once they told us, it was like self-evident. Oh, of course. Wow. Amazing. So maybe this is a good place to stop then, and we'll continue from chapter 22. Or why not just read the summary, and then we'll continue from the first text next time. So chapter 22. In this chapter, the orbits of the planets are described. According to the movements of the moon and other planets, all the inhabitants of the universe are prone to auspicious and inauspicious situations. This is referred to as the influence of the stars. The sun god, who controls the affairs of the entire universe, especially in regard to heat, light, seasonal changes, and so on, is considered an expansion of Narayan. He represents the 3 Vedas, Rig, Yajur, and Sama, and therefore he is known as Trayimaya, the form of Lord Narayan. Sometimes the sun god is also called Surya Narayan. The sun god has explained himself in 12 divisions, The sun god has expanded himself in 12 divisions, and thus he controls the 6 seasonal changes and causes winter, summer, rain, and so on. Yogis and karmis following the Varnashram institution, who practice Hatha or Ashtanga yoga, or who perform Agnihotra sacrifices, worship Surya Narayan for their own benefit. The demigod Surya is always in touch with the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayan. Residing in outer space, which is in the middle of the universe between Bhuloka and Bhuvarloka, the sun rotates through the time circle of the zodiac represented by 12 rashis or signs, and assumes different names according to the sign he is in. For the moon, every month is divided into 2 fortnights. Similarly, according to the solar calculations, a month is equal to the time the sun spends in one fortnight, in one constellation. 2 months constitute one season, and there are 12 months in a year. The entire area of the sky is divided into 2 halves, each representing an ayana, the course traversed by the sun within a period of 6 months. The sun travels sometimes slowly, sometimes swiftly, and sometimes at a moderate speed. In this way it traverses within the 3 worlds, consisting of the heavenly planets, the earthly planets, and outer space. These orbits are referred to by the great learned scholars by the names Samvatsara, Parivatsara, Idavatsara, Anuvatsara, and Vatsara. The moon is situated 100,000 yojanas above the rays of the sunshine. Day and night on the heavenly planets and Pitraloka are calculated according to its waning and waxing. Above the moon, by a distance of 200,000 yojanas, are some stars, and above these stars is Sukra Graha, Venus, whose influence is always auspicious for the inhabitants of the entire universe. Above Sukra Graha, by 200,000 yojanas, is Buddha Graha, or Mercury, whose influence is sometimes auspicious and sometimes inauspicious. Next above Buddha Graha, by 200,000 yojanas, is Angaraka, Mars, which almost always has an unfavorable influence. Above Angaraka, by another 200,000 yojanas, is a planet called Brihaspati Graha, Jupiter, which is always very favorable for qualified brahmanas. Above Brihaspati Graha is the planet Sanaiskara, Saturn, which is very inauspicious. And above Saturn is a group of 7 stars occupied by the great saintly persons who are always thinking of the welfare of the entire universe. These 7 stars circumambulate Dhruvaloka, which is the residence of Lord Vishnu within this universe. So we will continue from text 1 in chapter 22 on Friday. Any reflections or any sharing from anybody before we close for today? Okay. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Shripad Bhakti Madhavapuri Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev, Srila Tirtha Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Rupanuga, Guru Varga Ki Jai.
Jai.
Glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the worldwide devotees. Sama Bhaktiveda Vrinda Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai, Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ju Ki Jai, Gangamayi Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Giri Govardhan Gupta Govardhan Dham Ki Jai, Shyam Kund Radha Kund Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Jai Nam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai, Scientific Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai, Prince Bhakti Institute Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Hari,
Haribol.
Devi Dasi Ki Jai, Śrīmatī Tulsi
Jai.
Maharaj Dasi Ki Jai, Śrīmatī Bhaktiswati Ki Jai, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Keshava Das Brahmachari Ki Jai.
Jai.
Gurudev.
Hari Krishna.
Oh,
Haribol.
Nitai Gaura Haribo.
Oh, what's your tattoo?
It's a symbol of eternity.
Oh my God.
It's alpha. Alpha, the first letter of the Greek alphabet, then omega, and then an infinity sign in the middle.
It's infinity in infinity in infinity. There is a Shanti mantra. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purna Mudachyate Purnameva Purna Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevat Vasishyate. Infinity comes from infinity, which becomes infinity. So
Never ending.
yes, it's never ending. Yes, eternal, never ending. Yes.
Yes.
Very
We're all
good.
in, all in it together.
Yes, summer is coming. Things are coming out, right?
Oh yeah.
Tattoos are coming out. So
Yes, patterns are coming out. Very nice, indeed.
bye. Take care. Namaste.
Great day.